Dakar is the capital and largest city of Senegal. It is the westernmost city on the African mainland. Dakar proper has a population of a little over 1 million people, whereas the population of the Dakar metropolitan area is estimated at over 2.45 million people. This port city was colonized by the French and became a key city in the French Empire. With Senegal gaining its independence in 1960, Dakar has become a city that has flourished with the arts, commerce, food, and culture.
Okay, my name is Marie Bass Wiles, and I'm from Senegal, West Africa.
My name is Malan Bayo from Senegal and West Africa.
My name is Lamine Thiam. I'm from Senegal, West Africa.
My name is Papa, but I'm most likely known as Jollof. I was born and raised in Senegal, Dakar.
My name is Papa Si. I'm from Senegal, West Africa.
My name is Kanate Primus, and I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Growing up in the capital, that's Dakar, it's a little bit rough, but it was okay because when you have your parents around, that really helps a lot. You know, but I went to school, I graduated, and I decided to do dancing because my grandmother was a singer and a dancer from Mali. Then she was the first teacher.
I grew up with my dad, who was a very good guy, very good man, very religious, cultural, very kind person.
Because I don't get raised with my mother, and I don't get raised with my father. So it was, I was being raised in my grandmother, and after that, 6 years old, 7 years old, they gave me my uncle. So my uncle was raising me to the, not easy raising, but like a tough raising.
My childhood was very much like any other child, I guess. You know, I went to school. On weekends, on Saturday, I cleaned the house, and on Sundays, instead of going to church, we went to drum and dance class.
My mom was too a very kind lady. She's still alive. My dad passed. But I have brothers and sisters. We are a family of 10. You know, 3 girls and 7 boys. You know, very happy. We are very together. We were, like I say, our parents they were very kind people. They were very good people, clean. They believed in love, respect, kindness, religious. We were Muslim, Islam. So we were well raised to be together, you know.
And when I was young, I go to school. Yes, after school, after school, I go to in the conservatory for gonna learn dance. But I love dancing. I love acting. But I singing, I acting, I dancing. When I go in the conservatory, but I make my formation in 6 years. When I finish, I go to the stage, and another teacher, she came in the world, Germany, United States, France. I learn more different technique, but I'm a dancer.
Time when we were young, we heard about Gorée Island, and that was the only really place. It's in the middle of the water, ocean, Atlantic Ocean. You have to go by boat to go there. we tried to just go and discover ourselves. And we lucky because we had somebody older who knows the story, was there, and every time the tourism come, they had a chance to talk about what happened inside. And they show us where they used to have the children, have to separate them with the adults, the men and the boys. Each one of them have different rooms. And you had to see those rooms. They were really, really little compared to how they were separating people, you know, in the boat in different areas.
But I think when I was younger, it was sound look like to me they raising me what the every wrong way, and then they raising me what the very, you know, calf, you know, somebody will like they don't like me, so that's how I was thinking in my life. But after the 6 years, 8 years, 10 years, coming to the 15 to the 19, and then I know exactly because they want me to be like a good, you know, good man or good person, you know, handling with everybody and have a love with everybody and have a peace and everything with those people. It was hard, very, you know, how they educated me, it was very hard.
There's always difficulties when you don't understand stuff. So when I was younger, I didn't really understand why we were doing it or what was the purpose. I really didn't have any interest in it, but I was just doing it because my parents were doing it, and that's what we did. So instead of hanging out with my friends on lots of days, I'd be at rehearsal.
Everybody went to school for French. Everybody, you know. So people naturally, you say somebody nangadef, which is how are you, instead of saying mangifi, only they say, some say mangifi, but most of them say ça va. Ça va bien means I'm good.
My grandmother was already a singer and dancer. That really helped me to even learn more interested about the dancing and the culture, the traditions, because she taught me all of those things. Singing with understanding of the language, and usually, you know, when people sing, they sing for good reason. Sometimes for family, or somebody did something good in the village and they sing for them in their names. That really helped me to really focus more in the dancing and love it.
So I say drumming has given me the opportunities to interact with many people, many different kinds of people, and from there you get to see how people kind of view you and view your lifestyle and how much respect they have for it. Some people don't have any respect for it. Some people have a tremendous amount of respect for it.
I'm sure I was 15 years old and 16, 17, and I started be the fishing man. And I was doing the harbor in the rainy season, you know, I have the peanuts, rice, those all the things, different whatever meal, anything anybody can eat is a food. So I was that was the one was my best things I was doing. I think that's gonna be for my life. You know?
After I dropped school, around the age of 15, that's when I start learning African dance and theater in Senegal with different dance companies and also at the Conservatoire National of Dakar, Senegal.
Basically, my father and my mother have a dance company, and my father, Obar Wali, and my mother, Andara Rahman, they have a dance company, Sabar Kurafik, and they've had this company since the 70s, so I kind of had no choice but to take a part of it.
most likely that's the woman who are doing the cooking, either your mom, your sister, your aunt, or your cousin. They're the one doing it. But I didn't like eating too much junk food, and I was living with my brothers and sisters, and they were already here and cooking, and that's how by looking at them every day, that's how I learned how to cook. And I perfected my hand when I lost my first job, and I was looking for another one, couldn't find one, and didn't want to wait for whoever I have to cook to come to the house and cook. That's how I perfect my hand. And I decided, why every day I have to cook for people coming from work? Why don't I cook and take it to them? That's most likely how I started the business of cooking.
And I left from the village, Casamance, and I hit to city. I came to the Dakar. So I meet with my friend of mine, he's clothes making, the tailor. So we hang together at the same place. So the guy called me and said, why my two children, the clothes maker, my two children, 3, and friend of mine, they circumcised those old boy. So the day they want to take shower and change the clothes, we really wanted to do like a traditional and back home in Casamance or Gambia. So from that, I said, so what do you want to do? They said, we're going to do the jambadong. Jambadong was me when you circumcise your children. So sister, mother, brother, uncle, niece, we all get together, and then drum have to play, and we singing, the block, group together, and then doing the jambadong, go to each house.
It's kind of smooth and flowing, it's not very aggressive. But I like aggressive drumming, it's good, but it's just not for me,
I do more traditional style. I love all music, all kinds of music. I hear it, it adapts to my body. But when it comes to dancing, performing, I perform traditional West African music.
Brooklyn is the most populous of New York City's 5 boroughs and has a similar population as Dakar with 2.5 million residents. Like Dakar, Brooklyn has become known for its art, culture, and food. Senegalese migrants began coming to New York in the early 1980s, and that migration has increased throughout the 90s and the first part of the 21st century. Senegalese migrants have become street vendors, craftspersons, shop owners, cab drivers, professionals, jewelers, travel agents, artists, and more. With a population of over 100,000, the Senegalese in New York have become part of the fabric that is the city's ethnic landscape. In central Brooklyn, most notably the neighborhoods of Bedford-Stuyvesant and Crown Heights, it is easy to see the impact of Senegalese migration.
Somebody hired me from Senegal because they were living in California, Los Angeles, and his name is Ibrahima. And he has a company called Kumpo. It's a masquerade, Kumpo. And he needed an artist to come and teach the company members and also be able to stay to perform with him, with the company. That's how I got in America, by invitation.
I need to audition, but I told them, no, how you see me and write me in the letter, so why you want me to audition? If you believe, I can handle whatever is going on here, so I don't need to audition. So I don't audition, and I joined the dance group, national dance group, and then traveled to the United States in 1986. Mexico, Canada, and Europe, 1 year and a half, we was been traveling. So this is the time I find out exactly this is the one is gonna be my professional things, to be a professional and to join the dance group and be it's gonna be my job.
First time is the 21. Yes, I come to United States in Massachusetts. I invited my company in Massachusetts the one festival.
I came here in 1993. But I met an American woman in Senegal that we fall in love, we dated for a long time. At the end, she was my wife for a long time. And that's how I get to New York.
It's impossible for someone to do in here. Whatever you wanted to do, if you really focus on it and put the effort and accept, do some sacrifice, but there's nothing you can do without sacrificing something. That's something I learned in here, because I never thought then I will have my own business in here, because some people told me that, oh, you're a foreigner, you're undocumented alien, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. But I realized then that maybe can happen in another country, but not here.
I do the regular job. So that I'm like that. I really want to do the regular job, but not only the dancing. So I've been doing the regular job since the 95. So doing the regular job and dancing and traveling, do the choreography. I organize also myself, dance conference. This is gonna be my 5th year. Last year we was here in Kumbe. It was every August, so it's for everybody. It's an education for everybody, not just for anybody. It's for everybody.
I came and find people who love to dance, and that really helped me to stay with it. And I was feeling very comfortable by seeing people who really love to dance.
But I'm a choreographer, and I choreograph African dance in traditional music and in modern music. Like hip hop, I can choreograph in all kinds of music. Sabar is from Senegal, Yes, and it's a celebration dance. I teach Sabar, and also I teach other style. I teach Guinea dance and Mali too, djembe.
I grew up in this culture, learning about Senegalese traditions, because my mother and my father have various associates and friends where it's like so tight-knit, where it's almost family. So you grow up with certain customs, not exactly to a T, because you're not in Senegal, so it's not going to be the same exact way. But it's very similar, and you respect the culture just like if it was your own.
I'm not racist. I love everybody. I love black, white, everybody. That's me, human. But I love my black people, because every black people come from Africa. Maybe you're my cousin. Maybe she's my, you never know. And sometimes I meet people that, African Americans, like one night, I met some brothers. They were talking about Africa, something like they were taking themselves out of Africa. I say, hey, you African too. And I was telling the brothers, hey, we should start knowing it, get it, talking Africans and African Americans.
And Germany you have the culture in Germany. You have the culture in France and Italy and Denmark and everywhere. When you come in the United States, it's the same. You have many different culture, many different things, but it's good. I like, but when you have a different things, it's good for me.
Matter of fact, I have people I met in the dance floor. One of them looked like my sister, and I was very shocked by seeing that. I said, I need to learn a little bit more about the history here, how the resemblance of faces, features, and I tried to study. That's how I figure out, oh, it's a lot of African people they brought here.
When you look at hip hop and you know West African dance, all you see is West African dance steps, you know? And I think it's very connected. And I believe that hip hop the root of hip hop is African dance.
There's so many things important about the African culture itself, but more so what it does for a lot of people. It gives them a sense of direction. It gives them a sense of community. You know, some place to meet people, to congregate. You know, some places to relieve stress. You know, to work out for fitness. Some places to hear good music. You know, it's so many different things that it does. For me, it's therapeutic. You know, it's a hobby like playing a sport.
Yes, I feel like being home in Brooklyn. I went to some other state, but there is nothing like a place, nothing look like Brooklyn. Brooklyn is the closest to home. In the whole entire United States, every place I go, Brooklyn is the closest to home. This is a real melting pot. When you're talking about melting pot in America, that's Brooklyn. You can find all culture, people living together, different nationality, different type of culture. Brooklyn been home to me, and they really accepted me like one of their own.